EBK has been putting on for Stockton like crazy in the rap game, but a lot of fans don't know about the crazy beefs they're rapping about. They've got beef all over the city, and today we're breaking down why they've got such a huge target on their backs. EBK, aka Everybody Killer, is mostly based around 2100 Nightingale on the southeast side. Nightingale is right off of 8th Street, and back in the day, 8th Street was pretty chill. There were always different sets around, but everyone was more focused on hustling and getting money. The streets in Stockton have always been wild, but when EBK came around, the area near 8th Street really turned up. EBK's biggest ops around 8th Street are the Flyboys. The Flyboys' territory is right down the street from Nightingale, and that's one of the reasons why the beef is so intense. According to sources, there was always tension with the dudes from Nightingale and other sets around 8th Street, but the situation got way crazier when EBK started beefing with everyone. EBK was started by EBK Osama and his homies, and Osama was allegedly blood brothers with the biggest rapper from the crew, EBK J-Bo. A lot of rap fans have heard about EBK because of J-Bo, but EBK was also making headlines for tearing up the city. Back in May 2019, two EBK affiliates named Brian Norman and Raymani Gaines slid on a dude named Ronald Celestine and shot him to death around March Lane and Holiday Drive. It's not clear who Ronald Celestine was affiliated with, but EBK obviously had major issues with him because they spun again on his family just 3 days later. Ronald Celestine's family was having a candlelight vigil for him, and that's when the shooters pulled up and started dumping into the crowd. Ronald Celestine's cousin Benny Lott was tragically shot and killed, and 3 other people got sent to the hospital with gunshot wounds. EBK still wasn't finished there though, and 2 days later, they allegedly slid on the ops again and hit 2 more people. The back-to-back shootings were all over the news, and the cops knew they had to do something about it. And a month later, they arrested Brian Norman, Raymani Gaines, and 7 other alleged EBK affiliates. At the same time EBK was getting pressed by the cops, a dude affiliated with the crew named Young Slowby was starting to pop off in the rap game. Some sources claim Young Slowby wasn't actually a member of EBK and was just tight with a lot of the affiliates, but he came up around Nightingale Avenue and followed his dad into the trenches. Slowby's mom and grandma tried to keep him out of the streets at first. He played sports in school, but then he would come home and see all the hustlers making money in the streets and wanted to be like them. Slowby learned how to survive the streets from his dad, and his dad is also the reason Slowby started rapping. His dad had a studio in his crib and wanted to make it in the rap game, and Slowby laid down his first track when he snuck into his dad's studio while his dad was away. Slowby's dad saw that Slowby had major potential, but it took a while before Slowby actually started grinding in the rap game. In 2018, he decided to really go hard in the booth, but Slowby didn't blow up overnight like he thought he would. At first, he was only getting a few streams on his tracks, and Slowby almost gave up rap completely, but then he decided to invest in himself and stick to the grind. And in 2019, Slowby scored a huge win after he linked up with a rapper from Sacramento named Briss. They hopped in the booth and dropped the track 2142, and after it ran up crazy numbers, everyone in Stockton and Sacramento knew that Slowby and Briss were about to take over the game. But before they could make it out of the trenches, Briss was tragically killed in June 2020. Briss getting murdered was a big loss for Slowby, but he kept it pushing in the rap game and went viral on TikTok in 2021 when he dropped the track I Love You. Slowby was close to making it out of the streets, but then in August 2022, he was tragically shot and killed in Manteca, California. Nobody was ever booked for killing Slowby, and there are a lot of rumors about what went down. A year after Slowby got killed, a dude affiliated with the Flyboys and Trap Mob named Band-Aid Snowy dropped the track Peekaboo and rapped, "Plucking niggas early morning, leave them on the news. Run them down, face shots, nigga pick up ball. Fuck you niggas thought, we got shooters too." Some people think Slowby got killed by EBK's ops, but there's also a rumor that it didn't have anything to do with street politics. According to some sources, Slowby was hooking up with another dude's baby mama, and the dude killed Slowby over the situation. Nobody knows what really happened to Slowby, but EBK allegedly started sliding for him right after he died. After Slowby got killed, a dude from the Flyboys named Demar died too, and EBK was dissing them and making it look like they were the ones who took Demar out. And on the track Slowby Mode, his homie EBK J-Bo rapped, "Told my bro to X me from the hood if I don't slide for Slowby. Don't fuck with niggas from the north if they ain't Val or Verdi. Hey, real shooters, I make demons come around nervous." Slowby was a huge loss, but EBK J-Bo blew up like crazy and went viral on TikTok even though he was dropping some of the most savage tracks in the game, and most of the people dancing to the music had no idea about his wild come up. A lot of EBK's ops diss him because some EBK members aren't from around Nightingale, but that's where J-Bo was born and raised. J-Bo got active in the trenches when he was 12 years old and wasn't thinking about becoming a rapper, but his life probably would have been way more different if his dad didn't get killed. J-Bo's dad was a rapper named Rory who also came up on Nightingale Avenue. Rory's mom was addicted to drugs, and his dad was always getting locked up, so he started breaking into houses and hustling. Then one time when he broke into an abandoned house with his homies, Rory found a local rapper's tape inside the crib. Rory listened to the tape and heard the dude shouting out Stockton, and that's when Rory decided to get in the booth and start putting over Stockton in the rap game too. Rory was still getting into trouble with the cops, but he didn't let it slow him down in the studio. He was trying to make it out of the trenches and give his kids a better life. And at one point, somebody in the Atlanta scene wanted Rory to fly out and set up a meeting. Rory was on probation and his PO didn't want him to go, but Rory knew that it was too big of an opportunity to pass up. He went to Atlanta to really get his career going, but unfortunately the deal didn't work out and his PO found out that Rory left Stockton without telling him. Rory got booked for violating his parole, but then he got back out and went even harder with music. He built his own studio and started making beats, and eventually he got his name popping in the city. But then Rory took a huge loss when his homie Tall T was shot and killed. Tall T was another rapper from Stockton, and when he linked up with Rory, they planned on taking over the game together. But before they could make it out of the city, Tall T was shot to death in Long Park. Rory wanted J-Bo to make music too, and he used to bring J-Bo to the studio and even had him sing on one of his tracks. Rory was on his way up and wanted to get J-Bo and the rest of the family away from Nightingale. But when J-Bo was 11 years old, Rory was tragically killed by some teenagers. There are a lot of stories about what went down, but rumors say that J-Bo and Osama were robbed by some teenagers in the neighborhood. Rory allegedly went to confront the teenagers about the situation, and that's when they allegedly upped the strap and shot Rory to death. J-Bo could have had an easy life if Rory kept popping off in the rap game and made it out of Stockton. But after Rory died, everything changed and J-Bo went straight to the trenches. Around that time, J-Bo started getting locked up. He was into stealing cars and eventually got caught with a stolen whip. When he was younger, J-Bo's mom used to work at the juvenile hall, but she'd already retired by the time he was active in the streets. All the staff knew who he was and used to call his mom and tell her J-Bo was getting into crazy fights with his ops. J-Bo's been going in and out of jail since he was a teenager, and then he started rapping and airing out his ops in the booth too. Losing his dad is what really pushed J-Bo into the streets, and on the track Sweet Lady, he rapped, "Been on the hype since them suckers knocked my mans down." And on the track Pops Punched Me In, he said, "Niggas downplay my gangster till that man hit the pavement. Can't let you say that you my bro if you ain't left a nigga stankin', or at least try to. Hella shell cases when we slide through, and I don't feel like I'm alive, cause when Rory left, I died too." J-Bo's been dropping music since he was 15, but he had to take some time off after he caught a charge for shooting someone in school. According to J-Bo, one of his friends was getting jumped at school, so J-Bo upped his strap and started shooting.
I was 15. That's a closed case too. Shit, we was at school. Shit got weird. Suckers trying to jump sis, you feel me? Got on.
J-Bo said he wasn't actually trying to hit anybody that time, but he got sent to juvie and kept getting more time added to his sentence because he couldn't stay out of trouble.
You know, a nigga really wasn't trying to hit nothing back then, though. So they just chalked it as to a nigga just like
shooting into a dwelling,
discharging a firearm. That's what a nigga pleaded to. And in juvenile hall, bro, that's like nigga go to camp for that.
That's facts.
But I was
3-month program type
exactly,
shit.
but I was fighting hella niggas though, so
you was getting refiled.
Exactly, I couldn't go to camp. You feel me? A nigga kept catching extra days and shit, so they just gave me like 720 days.
J-Bo came back home and got back in the booth, and rumors say he was really sliding for Slow B and might have been involved with killing a rapper named K Squeeze who had ties to Sacramento. Before he got killed, Slow B was getting involved with the rap scene in Sacramento after he linked up with Briss. Briss had been beefing with another rapper named Uzi Marcus after Uzi Marcus dropped the track 42K and rapped, "Keep it real, you niggas ain't killed a fly, and if it's money on my head, why the fuck I'm still alive? You niggas ain't popping shit, they're really just talking shit. Where they at? I'm right here on 42nd with the stick. Lil Briss, he a pussy, and Lil Danny, he a bitch. Keep playing, I be outside your grannies with the switch." It didn't start with Uzi Marcus and Briss though, and they were both caught up in another beef between CML Lavish D and Mozzie. Lavish D and Mozzie had already been beefing for years, and both sides had taken real losses in the streets. Briss was cool with Lavish D, and Uzi Marcus was tight with Mozzie. And rumors say that's why Uzi Marcus started taking shots at Briss. Briss and Uzi Marcus had personal beef too though, because they were allegedly hooking up with the same girl. A lot of people thought young Slowby got caught up in the Mozzie and Lavish D beef because he was so tight with Briss. And J-Bo added more fuel to the rumors after Mozzie's homie K Squeeze got killed. After K Squeeze died, J-Bo clowned him on IG and made it look like it was get back for Slowby. There's no evidence that J-Bo was involved with K Squeeze getting killed, but all the rumors about him made J-Bo pop off even more in the rap game. He started blowing up all over social media, but then in 2023, he caught some gun charges and got locked up again. J-Bo got out on bail 6 months later, and he told No Jumper that he was really gonna take rap seriously. Every time J-Bo is free, he's been going hard in the booth, but his career keeps getting slowed down because he's been in and out of jail the whole time he's been rapping. What's crazy about the situation though is that J-Bo is still popping off like crazy. He's been dealing with legal drama since he was 14 years old, but that hasn't stopped him from racking up millions of streams every time he drops something new. Rumors say that J-Bo will be free again in 2025, but in August 2024, he did an interview from jail with Passion of the Wise and said he's all good behind bars. J-Bo dropped a new album while he was locked up, and he's getting so popular right now that his fans started a petition to make him the new mayor of Stockton. A lot of rappers have a target on their backs, and the cops want to keep them locked up, and J-Bo says that's why he's been inside so much. J-Bo went down for a pistol case, and his co-defendants didn't even catch jail time for it, but the prosecutors wanted to hit J-Bo with a 4-year sentence. Luckily, J-Bo shouldn't be locked up that long, and his fans are ready for him to get out and stay out of the legal drama this time. But while J-Bo has been blowing up in the rap game, EBK never stopped tearing the streets up in Stockton. After DeMar from the Flyboys got killed, EBK allegedly slid on them again and killed a dude named Jay Black. EBK and Lil Play got booked for the murder, and then another dude from the Flyboys named Cholo got shot and killed. And in 2024, the Flyboys kept taking more losses when a dude named Trap Mob Los was shot and killed. They also lost Lil Los and Lil A during 2 different shootings that same year, but the Flyboys weren't the only ones losing people. In April 2024, EBK Osama was shot and killed. Rumors say that the ops used a woman to set him up, and some sources claim that EBK had already lost another member that same week. EBK Osama was allegedly J-Bo's half-brother and was one of the original members of EBK, and his death had a big impact on the crew. Osama is also the reason that EBK had some internal beef for a long time though. Osama and his homie Hari B caught a case together, and then people started claiming that Hari B snitched on Osama. Hari B, his brother Young Jock, and some other EBK affiliates split off and started calling themselves Every Brother Counts instead of Everybody Killer. The internal beef was looking pretty serious, and J-Bo even dissed Hari B on a song and rapped. Hari turned rat, he couldn't take the hit. They told that nigga 20 years. He started eating cheese. J-Bo and Young Jock are actually blood cousins, so the beef was pretty personal. Young Jock is older and had a buzz in rap before J-Bo was well known, but then J-Bo started to blow up and take EBK to a different level. Fans started to notice that they were never in each other's videos, even though they both repped EBK, and it seemed like they were dissing each other in songs. On the track Whack Something, Jock raps, "Nigga, I ain't getting in that whip, less the straps coming. I could give a fuck if it was blood, I'll whack cousin." J-Bo also said something similar on the song Heartfelt, where he rapped, "This funk shit will change you, I've been tripping with my cousins." It seemed like it was getting serious, but when asked about the beef in interviews, J-Bo and Jock both said it was more just a family beef and they'd eventually get over it. It looks like they worked it out because J-Bo was in one of Jock's recent music videos. Most of the dudes in EBK are Bloods, but Osama was a Crip. After the beef sparked up, Young Slowby took a shot at Osama on the track On Point and rapped, "Homies into it with homies. Now that's a bang, bro. Shit slimy. Watch who you call your friends, nigga. Told on the pistol case, but rockin' till the end, nigga. No priors, no background. Blood just a bitch, nigga. That's what I get for hanging with a weird Crip, nigga." Luckily, the beef got squashed before it got out of control, cause EBK has way too many enemies already and didn't need any extra drama coming from inside the crew. There was still some tension in EBK, but everyone showed love to Osama after he got killed. EBK has been taking a lot of losses, and what makes it even worse for him is that a lot of their ops are linking up too. The Flyboys are also cool with a set called the Muddy Boys, and their biggest rapper is a dude named MB Nell. MB Nell's been throwing shots at EBK for years, like on an unreleased track where he raps, "We the real EBK, them hot girls crossing politics, Southside niggas in charge, it's always been that. West Side and Southeast bitches link for some get back." MB Nell also aired out some EBK dudes who aren't from Nightingale and raps, "Jock ain't from the Gales, he was Crip banging in the north, Slowby from San Diego, Maple and 44th. Then J-Bo clapped back at MB Nell on the track Fly K and raps, "I'm through the 8, I guess we funkin' with the Japanese, and MB Nell ain't never slid, that's on the Southeast, you dirty black bitch, stop acting like you trippin' with the G." According to MB Nell, the Muddy Boys are a newer set that started from an OG Filipino Crip set called the Loketown Crips. Some of them were actually cool with some EBK affiliates back in the day and even had tracks together, but then the Muddy Boys started rocking with the Flyboys and they've been beefing with EBK ever since. Some dudes like Bands rep Flyboys and Muddy Boys too, and back in the day he was listening to EBK J-Bo tracks on IG Live, and according to Bands, J-Bo used to call and tap in with him.
J-Bo used to call from the halls and tap in with niggas.
There are a lot of different stories about why the beef started between EBK, the Fly Boys, and Muddy Boys, but one of the most popular rumors is that EBK Trey got into a fight with MB Nail, and that's what sparks it all up. In an interview with No Jumper, Band said that before EBK started, everyone was cool and some of their older homies were friends with some dudes from Nightingale. But then some of the older dudes went to jail and the younger generation started forming their own sets. That messed up the whole structure and it didn't take much for everyone to start beefing. Bands were starting to pop off in the rap game too, but then the feds picked him up during the gang sweep and hit him with a murder charge. According to the cops, Bands killed a dude named Elijah Johnson back in 2019, and now they finally have enough evidence to put him away for it. It's not clear what kind of evidence the cops have on Bands, but the feds don't usually get involved unless they got a solid case. And fans are already linking Bands to the shooting too. The cops released surveillance footage of the murder, and people think the getaway car Bands allegedly used during the hit was also used for a music video for his homie Jay Black. Bands had just started dropping music in 2024, and his first track racked up over 100K views in one day. But now it looks like he might never come home again. EBK has been taking a lot of losses in the streets and having members getting locked up too, but hopefully J-Bo comes home and keeps the momentum up. He's already lost a lot of people to the trenches, but if J-Bo keeps his head down and stays out of any more legal drama, he could take over the game and bring his homies out of the streets with him.